The next thing that I have done and this is this year, I have published another book, which is you know building multimodal generative AI and agentic applications. Now, as you know, the entire world is moving towards agentic applications. They are agentifying everything, and how the world sees, or how we see, are not unimodal. It's multimodal because I am talking one modality, I am seeing that's another modality. So this book is just an augmentation, and I start from where I left in the previous book, which is Learn Python Generative AI. And this book, which is Building Multimodal Generative AI and Agentic Application, it takes off from there. So you have your fundamentals right, then you go completely to a different domain, and where it's no longer traditional. It's more in terms of new age, how you can actually uh, build these systems, what is needed to go ahead and build these systems. When I say system, these are new age generative AI systems, which are multimodal and multi-agent systems. Now, I have taken a complete different view in this book. What I have done is I have introduced new age generative AI, and where I ended in the last book, I started from here. So the second chapter after the first chapter, where I introduced new age generative AI, deep dives into multimodal systems. What is needed for you to build those multimodal systems? I also start after this deep diving into multimodal system. It will help you to understand the fundamentals of multimodal systems. I then take a step back, first build a local gen AI system. When I say local, using Olama, I build a unimodal local gen AI system. When I say gen AI system, these are mostly retrieval augmented generation, and the initial chapters are at least retrieval augmented generation, and then I show you how you implement. Now, many of my followers have asked me how I can go ahead and uh, build a unimodal system locally, and what is the difference when I build an API based Gen AI system. So for that, I have also in chapter 4 implemented a unimodal API based Gen AI system. I'm still did not touch that multimodality in these two chapters, just to set the tone. Then followed by chapter 5, which deeps dive into agentic Gen AI system. And very crucial thing that I have done here is getting human in the loop. Now, human in the loop is very crucial these days, not just to assess how Gen AI systems are, but also there can be an offload from agents to human, from humans to agents. This intercollaboration is very important. Now, I have seen lot of rags in the world, and most of the rags I have seen and I have reviewed are naive rags. And this is what doesn't work when you take these systems to a production grade implementation. So you need two stage to multi stage RAG or Gen AI systems. Now, I have designed this chapter in such a way that you are able to go ahead and understand what is a naive RAG, what is a two stage RAG, and what are multi stage RAGs. Okay. So then comes chapter 7, where I have gone ahead and built a bidirectional retrieval system. And again, now here real multimodality comes into picture, where it gives you both. You can do search using both images and text, or images or text, so that becomes bidirectional. Then I have shown in chapter 9, how to go ahead and use a re-ranking, because in chapter 6 I touched on this two stage. So how to build gen AI system with re-rankings. Re-rankers are very important because that will help you to actually give the right results. The concept comes from recommendation engines, and it's very crucial for you to learn and understand this. Then in chapter 10, I have designed the chapter in such a way that you are able to actually optimize this multimodal Gen AI systems. Followed by chapter 11, where you actually implement a voice based multimodal Gen AI system, where you actually talk to the system and the system talks back to you. And then there are two more chapters on advanced multimodal Gen AI system, chapter 12 or 13. You really need to deep dive into those chapters, very, very crucial for you. Chapter 14 talks about text to SQL system and how you can implement. Chapter 15 also talks about how you can make it agentic. So build text to SQL system, non-agentic, then convert that into an agentic system. So this, I have actually used use cases, and that are real world use cases. So definitely not the real world data. I have taken data from various um, open source places like Hugging Face, Kaggle, and everywhere. But it will give you an idea what uh, multimodal Gen AI systems are, and how also to take it to a text to SQL journey, from building normal to, of course, non-agentic, pardon me, then building non-agentic text to SQL systems to agentic text to SQL system, and which actually can do decision making. Okay, now chapter 16 dives into extract text from images, so that how you can use Gen AI, LLM. And because this chapter is going to set the fundamentals, there are a lot of customers who have come to me that, I don't want to just talk, I just want to give it an image, and or I shoot a error message, it should understand. And that's what our chat GPTs, our Gemini, they are good at. They are multimodal. They extract, they run a OCR to extract stuff. And so I have explained clearly how to use LLM OCR, non LLM OCR, integrate them. And then one of a major attraction of this chapter 17 would be integrating traditional AI ML, and there is a story behind it. The story is that I was talking to a customer who had implemented around yeah, 150 AI models. Now suddenly there was a boom of generative AI, the new age generative AI. So the question they came up with is, what should I do with so many models? Now they are running in production, they're doing fantastic. And my CEO is asking me that, what next? Why can't we implement generative AI? So I got in that perspective how you can use an LLM and use this traditional AI ML models, how you need not go ahead and just start everything from scratch just because LLM has come into picture. You can use LLM, you can use your traditional AI ML models as well. And last, chapter 18, but not the least, where most of our communities are not focusing on, LLM ops, Gen AI evaluation. You have to evaluate your models, starting from your embedding models to your generation models. Uh, every model that you build have to be evaluated using a certain metric, as well as LLM ops. I show here how you can use ML flow track your implementation. So very crucial for production grade systems. You cannot deploy a Gen AI system in production and not have LLM ops or ML ops. You know that very well. So that's about the second book.